And here we are, not even in April, when word comes out that a major part of a major team has tested positive for performance enhancing drugs and banned substances, violating the rules. And we know what that means: 80 games. When you are a first offender, you get suspended for half the season immediately. Here's how it works. Jurickson Profar is in the offseason, negotiating, trying to figure out where he's going to play. May or may not decide to do something nefarious, may or may not know exactly what he's doing. I'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to be calm here on April Fool's Day. I'm going to try to give Jurickson Profar the benefit of the doubt for the first minute, and then you'll see how I come around to maybe having him lose every benefit and having there be no doubt. So the theory is that you get drug tested. There's random tests throughout the season. There's random tests throughout the offseason. Yes, that can happen too. When you are tested, you submit, and then there's silence. The team gets a list during the season and during the offseason of players that are going to be tested, but they don't get the list in time to warn the player. Teams can't in any way substitute urine, blood, any bodily fluid. When there's a positive test, there's an entire protocol that happens between the union and the league. This is fully collectively bargained. And guess what the teams know? Nothing. You can be the president of a team, the GM of a team, the owner of a team. You could be negotiating with the free agent. The league and the union know that this free agent has tested positive, and you don't get to know it. The player has the right to appeal. There's another test, an appeal. Then there's a decision. In most cases, during the offseason, the decision comes after the player has signed. Sometimes during the season, when you're doing in-season negotiations with the player, when you extend a player. The league and the union know, you don't. What about that is actually fair that Alex Anthopoulos, the president of baseball ops for the Braves, is going through negotiations with Profar and his agent? There is a positive test, and the Braves go ahead and sign him, and then Profar gets suspended 5 days into the season. I'm just curious if anyone out there finds this to be compelling as a process. When we had a positive test for steroids for a player who had recently signed a long-term deal, I had one question for the commissioner: can we terminate the contract? And the answer was no. I was asked, why can we not negotiate in the collective bargaining agreement the ability to terminate guaranteed contracts upon positive testing for PEDs? And my answer was the union would not allow it, as much as they have a huge constituency who wants to legislate out steroid users because it moves money to people who don't deserve it, that could otherwise go to honest actors. The union said, we won't allow it because if we've got an underperforming player who's getting paid tons of guaranteed money, then the team would be incentivized to spike the drink, the food, the urine, the banana, the uniform with illegal substances, thereby causing a positive test so they could terminate the contract and get out from under a bad deal. I heard it. Interesting. My response to the union was this: that's against the law. So if you can prove that, then not only will you get your guaranteed contract, but you're going to get damages as well. And if there's a team out there or a GM or a president who is a criminal, let's catch the criminal. But let's not make the behavior of the innocent suffer. because of the action of one of the members of the class. It makes no sense that if you have one GM or team president over the course of 50 years who would spike the drink or somehow insert a needle. Here's the funny part. The majority of the PEDs, forget the fact that it's over-the-counter medicine for diarrhea. The majority of the positive tests are when you stick a needle in your bum. It's true. We could say to the player, I'm telling you, we're about to give you B12. Look, we're unwrapping it. Here it is. It's B12. Wink, wink. You're hitting 110. We've got another 5 years, 25 million a year. We took the B12 out. We inserted steroids, and now we're popping it in your bum. I guess that is absolutely accurate. The union should be very afraid of that because that's going to happen all the time. Was more than happy and remain more than happy to have a system where we have to independently verify. We have to videotape everything that we do with players. I'm happy to put cameras everywhere. Don't care. I'm happy to do anything in order to assuage the union of its concerns that one of the 30 people in baseball, or 3 people per team, 90 people. Well, if you're the Dodgers, you've got 90 of your own. So whatever number you want to choose, I'm ready to put cameras in to confirm that we will all not do that in order to have the right to look at Jurickson Profar and say, excuse me, we're going to take away your $42 million right now. Because right now, there is payment going to him year after year. But he had a statement. That's very nice. I was thrilled to read the Profar statement. Very well workshopped by his agent and by the union, because today is the most difficult day of my baseball career. I'm devastated to announce that I've been suspended for 80 games for testing positive for a banned substance this offseason. He then said that this is painful for me because I am deeply passionate about the game. Give me a break. There's nothing I love more than competing with my teammates and being a fan favorite. Give me a break. I don't care. Let's get to it. Did you do it? Did you not do it? Are you going to go the way of the honest approach? Or are you going to say, I have no idea how this could have happened? And here it is. It is because of my deep love and respect for this game that I would never knowingly do anything to cheat it. Let's take that off the screen right now, Coco, so I can explain to people watching, and I can look right in the camera and say, the agent and the union put this as part of every statement as though you are stupid, as though you, the fans, will not look at that statement and say, you would never knowingly do anything to cheat it. Well, never say never. And so your position is that you took one of these supplements, you took one of these pills, you got injected by a needle in your derriere, but you did not take the time to learn what the ingredients were, given the fact that year after year, player after player has used the same excuse. Wouldn't it occur to you and your representatives and any of your friends to say, hey, Mr. Profar, why don't we not put that in our body until we get it approved by the team? We have a simple rule with our players. Don't put anything in your body that we don't give you. Because guess what the rule is? If we give it to you and you test positive because of what we give it to you, you're good. Because we're not allowed to give you anything that would test positive. We get a list of approved things that we can give players. Our training room is a laboratory of perfect. These players, my body is my temple. I respect the game. I respect my body. It's the instrument I use to make a living. Oh, hey, can I get that little bottle of something right behind the counter? Yeah, don't worry about the ingredients. Oh, there's no label? Yeah, but oh, you say it helps me because I got a little pain in my wrist? I'll take it. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Every player knows. I don't care if the player doesn't speak English, doesn't have his own interpreter. Every player knows the rule. Call the team.